Welcome to this introduction to XLGL for Sage 50 intelligence reporting users. In this video, we will progressively show the differences and similarities between XLGL and intelligence reporting, working our way from simple to complex use cases. Features will be presented, but not explained in detail. Other videos will delve into each specific features. We will also see that reports available in intelligence reporting are available in XLGL, and that it is possible to convert an intelligence report to an XLGL report without the need to start from scratch. XLGL and intelligence reporting are similar in that they both generate reports using Microsoft Excel. However, as we will see, intelligence reporting uses a push approach, whereas XLGL pulls data into Excel, resulting in reports that are very dynamic, quick to modify and update, and a simpler process to create, modify and run reports. When working with intelligence reporting, you access your reports directly from the Sage 50 menu. XLGL is not a Sage product, and as such, it is not integrated in the Sage 50 user interface. After the XLGL installation, you will find everything you need directly in the Excel user interface as shown here. Our first question then becomes, how does Excel know to use my Sage 50 company data? From the XLGL ribbon tab, we click on Connect to manage connections to one or multiple Sage 50 company files. Setting up a connection is as easy as pointing XLGL to the company folder and entering the password configured for the company. For detailed information on the connection process, see the How to Connect to a Sage 50 Company video. For now, we will just connect to the sample company, Bellwether Garden Supply. Next, we can open existing reports and update them with our company data. We click Reports and Forms to open a panel with a directory of report templates included with XLGL. A special folder contains reports that were converted from Sage 50 intelligence reporting. Here, you will find the same categories as in your Sage 50 Reports menu with equivalent reports. For example, let's open the Inventory Analysis report. The first page offers us the same arguments as those available in the intelligence report, namely, the beginning of the fiscal year and the end date for the report. We can fill in the dates we want, then click Refresh on the XLGL ribbon to update the report. The process is very quick, and we can see the result on the inventory analysis and the inventory statistics sheets. If you have used this report with intelligence reporting in the past, you will notice they are essentially identical. The main difference is that this report is still dynamic and can be updated without the need to close and reopen Excel. To show this, we will change the dates for the report and click Refresh. As you can see, the report updated for the new period. We can also create a new transaction in Sage 50 and see how it affects our report. We will sell 5 prefabricated birdhouses, large Eiffel Tower. We notice the report says we sold 3 in the selected period. When we click Refresh, the report updates with a new quantity of 8, showing the 5 additional ones we just sold. As you can see, you can change the period or refresh with new data at any time by just clicking the Refresh button. This makes the process of preparing and making corrections much faster. If you are managing multiple Sage 50 company files, note that you can switch from one to the other easily and update the report accordingly. For example, we can connect to Stone Arbor Construction and click Refresh to update the report. Going back to Bellwether Garden Supply is as easy as clicking on it and clicking Refresh. If you ever need a static copy of the report, one that you are sure will not be modified with new data, and that you can send to someone that does not have XLGL, click Freeze on the XLGL ribbon and save this new copy of the workbook. Any personalized reports you have in intelligence reporting can be converted to XLGL in the same way these reports were converted, either by yourself, your consultant, or by our team of experts. Sufficient knowledge of both XLGL and intelligence reporting is required to convert a report successfully. We will look into the basics of converting a report later in this video. Besides reports converted from intelligence reporting, XLGL also has its own set of reports with features unique to it. Let's look at an income statement to see what we mean. On this income statement, we can change the dates for the period at the top and see the result update automatically. If we ever add a new account to our chart of accounts, or if there is a new transaction in Sage 50, we can always use the refresh button to update everything as we did before. What is special about this report is that we are using XLGL worksheet functions to retrieve the amounts from the company file. XLGL worksheet functions can be used like any other Excel functions, such as sum or VLOOKUP, but they have the particularity that they fetch and summarize data from your Sage 50 company file. If you are familiar with pivot tables, you can think of them as single-cell pivot tables that can reference arguments anywhere in your workbook. In this case, we use the account number from column B and the dates for the period in cells D1 and D2. As you can see here, there are many more optional arguments we could use to slice and dice the output. One quick and easy way to show the usefulness of worksheet function is in creating a comparative statement. We can quickly copy and paste the entire result columns and change the dates for the new period we want. We can repeat this simple process as many times as we want to compare over any set of periods. Worksheet functions also give you a lot of freedom in how you want to organize your report and limit the amount of data being brought into the workbook. For example, let's say we want a pie chart showing the allocation of liabilities versus equity at a given date. To create such a report would normally require a complex query and much data manipulation. With XLGL, we'll just enter a simple formula that says we want total liabilities and equity at a given date. The rest is simply Excel formatting. Note that it is also possible to drill down on the result of an XLGL worksheet function to see a detailed list of transactions. This list can also be exported to a worksheet for further analysis. XLGL worksheet functions are one of the 3 building blocks of XLGL reports. The second one is the XLGL table. Tables of data are very useful in Excel and give access to a whole set of Excel functionalities. The inventory analysis report we looked at previously was built around a pivot table, which in turn takes their input from an XLGL table. In this case, the table is on a hidden worksheet. Unhiding it gives us access to a new XLGL layout ribbon and properties for the table. We can see the underlying query for this table by clicking Edit Query. This takes us to the XLGL Query Designer, where we can use a drag and drop query creation interface or copy-paste a SQL command from another source, such as Sage Intelligence Connector. The Query Designer will feel familiar if you have used other query tools such as Microsoft Access or SQL Server Management Studio. This designer is very powerful and will handle complex expression, sorting, grouping, criterias, subqueries, unions, and so on. This is a very complex query. Let's see if we can start with something simpler. Starting from a blank workbook, we click New Table, then Custom Query, then Apply. We'll bring in the main transactions table for Sage 50 and select a few fields from it that we want to see. At any point, we can run the query to see a preview of the result. We can add criteria to limit the output to only useful information, and even add parameters that we will be able to link to our worksheet later on. In this case, we'll want to control the period for our output, so we add a start and an end date. Once we're happy with the results, we click Save and Close to return to Excel. The table is created with all the columns we added. We can format it as an Excel table to gain some quick sorting and filtering abilities. Remember the beginning and end date parameters we created? Let's link them to cells on our worksheet to control the data being brought in from Sage 50. We can now change the dates and click Refresh to update. Note that we could have these cells on another worksheet if we wanted. From here, we can create a pivot table, use lookup functions, or even create an Excel data model to which we could add additional custom tables. For users interested in converting intelligence reports, the XLGL table will be the tool of choice to replace the data dumps in the intelligence Excel template. Queries can then be recreated or copied and pasted from the intelligence reporting connector into the XLGL Query Designer. The last XLGL building block is the free-form layout. It can be used when you need more freedom in the layout of your report than that offered by tables or pivot tables. Free-form layout should be limited to small sets of data, as they take more time and memory to update when compared to tables and pivot tables. This report shows an example of a free-form layout. As can be seen, a free-form layout can have multiple levels with subqueries feeding each level. Each record can also be formatted to use more than one row. Free forms are more complex to create than tables. We recommend you develop some familiarity with XLGL before trying them out. This has been an overview of XLGL to help you transition quickly from Sage Intelligence reporting. If you have reports that need converting to XLGL, but you do not have the expertise to do it yourself, you can export your Sage Intelligence report and send it to our team at support@logicimtech.com to get a quote for the conversion. Follow the link below for a video on how to export and send your report. If you wish to learn more on how to use XLGL to create your own reports, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Check out the Learn XLGL for Sage 50 US playlist to learn more about XLGL and how you can use it to achieve outstanding reports.